guys, Sveti Williams here. Today I would like to talk about correlation between sleep and hunger. Okay, have you ever experienced one of those days when you just can't stop eating, when you're hungry and you just, whatever you eat, you just can't stop eating? Okay, I had one of those days. I'm sure a lot of you did as well. Have you ever noticed that on those days you also feel tired? Okay, so this happens only because we don't get enough sleep the night before. Okay, I'll tell you what happens exactly. Okay, in this video I will be mentioning only two hunger hormones, okay, which is ghrelin and leptin. Okay, so ghrelin is an appetite increaser. Okay, so when our stomach is empty, it triggers kind of this sends a signal to the brain and says, I'm hungry, feed me. Okay, so the brain produces this hormone ghrelin, which tells us also to go and find food. Usually this needs to happen only at specific times of the day, like breakfast, lunch and dinner time. When we are tired, ghrelin is overproduced. So there is another hormone which is called leptin. Leptin is an appetite suppressor. So leptin regulates ghrelin. When we eat, okay, and leptin is there, is triggered when we had enough to eat. Okay, so when the stomach is when the stomach is full, it tells the brain I had enough, and leptin is the hormone that is triggered, which suppresses ghrelin. Okay, when we are tired, these two hormones are messed up. Okay, what happens is leptin is inhibited. So production of leptin is very small and it cannot control ghrelin. Another interesting fact happens to us when we are tired. Okay, when we don't get enough sleep, our body is confused as what is happening. So it doesn't know what's going on. Okay, and the body, so because it doesn't know what's going on, it goes into fight or flight mode. Basically, it's getting us ready to flee. Okay, and staying in a fight or flight mode for a prolonged period of time releases the production of cortisol, which is a stress hormone. Okay, so when we have that cortisol levels high in the body, we become very stressed, and body wants to calm down, and so it tells you that it needs that kind of happiness hormone. The happiness hormone is serotonin. Okay, so the only way body can tell us, well, that's not the only way, but body in this situation tells us go and find something comforting. And a lot of people, a lot of times, find comfort in foods. Okay, so body tells us, okay, we'll crave bad foods because they're comforting. So that's why we crave sweet foods, salty foods, basically the junk food. Okay, that's why they are called comfort foods, because they give us that release of serotonin. Okay, which comforts us and gives us that kind of release of serotonin. But again, because we are under a lot of stress, cortisol levels are very high. The food that we eat, the junk food, is not kind of giving us enough serotonin to calm the body. Okay, again, because the production of cortisol is constant, okay, and very high, and it kind of builds up. So we keep want to eat that food, and the ghrelin isn't overproduced, so it keeps us want to eat more and more, and leptin is inhibited, so it can't kind of stop that ghrelin. So we kind of end up in this vicious cycle. Okay, so this is what happens in the body when we're tired, and a very good way to fix it is to get enough sleep. So when we have enough sleep, this hormonal kind of disruption regulates. Okay, so when we sleep enough and we're not tired, we are more relaxed. The cortisol levels are very low. Ghrelin is regulated by leptin, and we don't crave bad foods, so we can make better choices of what we eat. Okay, See, there's another aspect to this, okay? When our cortisol levels are high, we get stressed, and because of being stressed, we can't sleep. And oftentimes, when we eat bad foods, we also can't sleep. See, it puts us into this cycle that we can't snap out, okay? So we can't really, just on its own, it can be regulated on its own, but oftentimes it can't. So we can't sleep, so it kind of, one sleepless night turns into 2 sleepless nights, and it kind of follows, and people get into this routine of not kind of sleeping enough. So, and that's when they crave a lot of bad foods every day, and they start putting weight on, and it just, this is what happens, okay? So whenever you find yourself on the days when you're tired or didn't get enough sleep, when you're craving that kind of foods that you're trying to find comfort in, just know what is going on, okay? So that's what's happening. Thanks for listening.